The following review has been approved by Lord Carnage and the best of Classic Game Room. Wednesday is comic book day here at Classic Game Room, and this is the review of Action Force number 9 with Zartan. Action Force. There's an ad for Transformers on the back. Look at that scowling face. Why, it could only be Zartan in issue number 9 of G.I. Wait, oh, it's Action Force. Who the hell is Action Force? Isn't this comic called G.I. Joe, a real American hero? Number 25? Boy, am I confused. It's like the exact same comic, except it's bigger and way more colorful. It actually looks pretty good. Here's a look at the G.I. Joe version, which is now about 31 years old, where Storm Shadow is talking to Roadblock. Let's look at Action Force, which has nicer paper and obviously far bolder colors. The incredibly talented Larry Hama did the pencils for this issue, and Action Force was released in 1987, where the same G.I. Joe issue was released in 1984. For 60 cents. Man, I miss those days. Nothing is in cents anymore. What are cents? Anyway, unbeknownst to me, some of the Hasbro-licensed Marvel comics were re-released in Europe as larger issues. Larger in physical size. They're actually shorter with some dialogue changes. I'll get to that in a bit. But let's take a look at Action Force number 9, which I think is the first appearance of Zartan, except with some writing differences between the two issues. I'm not really sure. In G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander says, "Too bad Major Blood couldn't join us." In Action Force, he says, "I wonder how Wild Weasel is faring." Since when does Cobra Commander care about anyone? That seems strange for him. Anyway, since I haven't read all of the other Action Force issues, I really have no idea what's going on here. Except check this out, another major difference, there's no ads. Or at least there aren't yet. So in some respects, this comic is superior in terms of color quality, page size, and the fact that you get to enjoy more of the Baroness, since technically she's larger here. All good stuff. What's happening in this issue is Cobra Commander's meeting Zartan for the first time. Zartan shows that he's the human chameleon and absorbs Firefly's camouflage. It's your typical awesome G.I. Joe comic book. Except it's not G.I. Joe, it's Action Force, and right before the action starts, literally, we get ads for toys, mail call, and some other crappy comic that was definitely not drawn by Larry Hama. Action Force number 9 literally ends halfway through G.I. Joe issue number 25, and the rest of G.I. Joe 25 is non-stop shooting and explosions. So you Action Force readers got shortchanged, man. You should call Marvel and get a refund. This was sent to the show by an unknown viewer in Anchorage, Alaska. Thank you very much for Action Force and the Transformers comics. I'll cover G.I. Joe number 25 when I get to that, when I start reviewing the G.I. Joe issues. Action Force. It may give you a bigger Baroness, but you also get less Baroness. The Best of Classic Game Room is now on DVD, Blu-ray, and Hyper Laser Vision album set.